Hi there.
Hi, Kat.
Hey.
Hey. All right. Before we jump into those, I'm going to introduce my team of participants. We have Kelsey and
Kelsey.
Brady.
Hi, Brady.
Hi.
These two beautiful ladies are Julie and Sarah. I think you know with the hectic of summer and scheduling work or other podcasts, I'm able to find a day, night, and a time for you guys to come on my Cat Chat podcast.
Thanks for having us, Kat.
Yeah. I was going to say something, but I forgot. When I found out confirmation from Sarah that night about Taylor Core, I'm getting bumped. Because funny story related with bumping. We had the Biak news crew came to our house. I think it was 2 or 3 summers ago to talk about the follow-up of the car crash that my whole family was in with my son, and also with the lawsuit with Honda. And apparently the correspondent news person Chris Van Cleve was fighting about the car seat, the driver's seat, and the Honda, but it was not safe. There were a lot of cars aside from ours, local recalls. So they were trying to make our interview and our awareness into the CBS segment. So we were bumped. And the finally was we're going to do Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock. Great. So we're already got my DVD, and they texted us the night before. We have to bump you one more time. It's going to be the big interview with Oprah and Harry and Meghan. I'm getting bumped by the royal family. It's sad. Awesome. But then eventually, finally, our segment aired. So I feel honored and not so much by the royal family and the beautiful Taylor Cole.
Right.
We would all like to be bumped by Taylor Cole.
And she is beautiful. What a lovely interview. We always have a bunch of balls in the air, and so how they fall is sometimes crazy. And then my schedule is crazy because I work in critical care.
Yeah, that's why when we were scheduling it, I was like, there's a lot of last second things that could happen, and they did, but I'm glad finally we got to be
For sure. How did this whole podcast started? I mean, who was the first person that just jumped on with the McGarrys? And how did it just it was just because Kevin or one called The Heart or his movies?
So, well, as most people know by now, we started with a fan page, which focused a lot on Nathan Grant, who is played by Kevin McGarry on the show One Calls the Heart. Before we really switched that, Julie, correct me, did we start the podcast before we changed our name or after? After.
It was after. We broadened our page out to full Kevin McGarry fan page.
And not just the character of Nathan. Yeah.
And we're doing lots of Instagram lives.
So we decided to start a podcast that was separate, even though we kept the name because we had kind of made a small name for ourselves, and that's who everybody knew us as. So we kept the name, but the podcast really has nothing else to do with Kevin McGarry, other than he's been on quite a few times by now. But our first podcast was,
I got this. It's Gary. So Gary, So Gary, the driver for Wing Calls the Heart, was our actual first podcast. And he is a retired policeman and he drives stars around. That's his job. And it was a fun story. He's a great interactive guy, and just has a unique behind the scenes point of view. And so fun fact, Sarah and I just like to talk about any of the pieces. So having Gary on was like perfect. We've had a wide variety of people on, but Gary was our very first one. And then our number 2 person was
Gabriel.
from Romadrama.
Gabriel Prom. Yep. I'm saying
Gabriel
Romadrama.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
and now we're over 100. Yeah.
Yep. We have over 100 on YouTube. And then we have multiple Instagram lives. We still keep that as a one of our pieces. One of our first big stars on the Instagram live is a really fun story. It was Danica McKellar reached out to us and asked to do an Instagram live. So that was super fun.
Yeah, we had about 10 minutes to like get home, get dressed, jump on Instagram live.
I was in the basement going through junk. It was, I come upstairs and flip my phone over and there's like 500 texts from Sarah going, Julie.
Danica freaking McKellar, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was Danica and Neil Bledsoe's movie.
Winter
What is
Palace.
it called? The Winter Castle.
No, Winter Palace.
And then Neil joined us too. And so we've always kept that piece. We've done other Instagram lives too. We've done them with Kevin McGarry and Kayla Wallace for Feeling Butterflies. We've done them with Brandon and Jax.
Brandon and Jax. Yeah, we've done
Jacqueline Collier.
My well,
yeah,
a few.
Yeah, it's just still part of the things that we still do. We're unbuttoned. We don't follow the rules.
Yeah, but sure, yeah. Like I was very hesitant about doing podcasting, because there's not a lot of deaf-friendly platforms. So I'm just like, I've been wanting to try to start and launch everything in West Palm Beach because of all the network, and I feel like I need to get out there, not just because, oh, I know them, and I just wanted to get out there to be aware of just not just Hallmark, outside of Hallmark, also some really serious issues out of the world. I mean, I recently finished a podcast with Team Upstanders, talk about anti-bullying and how we could prevent it and how we could recognize symptoms or signs of what we could do to help the school, the community, and at home as well. You never know. So not just about, I got Ben on my podcast, I got Kayla, like that. But but it's also just raising awareness, and so many of the Hallmark stars and directors, writers are involved in charity, like Ban Romance University, the Martin Shelter for Women. And Nikki was Alzheimer's, Riley was breast cancer through Coleman. The list goes on. I want to be able to share and spread the awareness.
Yeah, we love that piece. Charity has certainly always been part of our foundation at Suspenders Unbuttoned. So in our fan group, we always attach charitable giving to any of Kevin's movie projects. We always have something going through that. And then through Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast, we have loved highlighting and promoting all the charities that the different groups have been in. Currently, Jen Lilly has her Christmas is Not Canceled. And that is giving school supplies and backpacks to kids in foster care. That's one we've been involved with for, since the beginning. And that's very much at the heart of us too. Like we love being connected to the community, but we love the giving hearts in the community.
Right. And even just as simple as our merch that we have both for the podcast and for the fan site has always been given to charities. So we right now we're doing Camp Christmas and Christmas is Not Canceled. And, you know, prior to that, it was for Doman International, which is actually the program my son uses. It's for children with special needs. So yeah, that's a big part of our foundation and our heart.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a few questions. No, because I'm always talking with Sarah here and there about what do I do with the podcast and what. So I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna do Doom. But if I do Doom and I have to hire a third party for the caption, I was like, I'm not gonna do that. You know, and there was another app to have someone in the group, in the room right now to type what I'm saying, so that's lacking. And after delay, that nah. So that okay, I could just reach out to my entrepreneur who I work with for work and for the community. So sure. So my contribution for the entrepreneurs who are willing to donate 1 hour of their time, half hour, depending on what kind of podcast it is, I give it back by a gift card or bookstore or Starbucks coffee gift card. So make them know it counts. No, and if they, oh, thank you so much, and I know, thank you, because they
Right.
show that a deaf individual can pretty much do anything. I mean, some people are like, to drive. Like, yeah, to drive. I'm like,
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you a fact right
Absolutely.
now. I know all of you are hearing and not deaf. So I'm gonna tell you a fact. Deaf people could be kind of a better driver compared to
Right.
hearing people because their eyes are all over the place. While some hearing people are just like, oh, you know, that kind of thing. So that's the only thing I can't really do here, but I could pretty much do anything.
Right. And I'm going to shout out to the interpreters. I was telling Sarah this. I work with interpreters every day of all sorts, including sign language, and then every language under the sun is very much part of my job. I appreciate the work that they do, but I also appreciate that that the outreach that this gives. This is an important profession. It's I work in critical care at a children's hospital, so I need those interpreters all the time. And it's anyway, so interpreters are very near and dear to my heart, and I love that they can be showcased.
Yeah, and Julie and I both love what you're doing, Kat. I think it's important. And just like how I'm kind of been obsessed with making sure my captions are working on the podcast, I wouldn't have ever even thought about that if you hadn't said like, oh, hey, do you have captions? And now I'm trying to really figure out how to get them going at all times, because I certainly want that to be there for all people that might benefit. So I think we appreciate that you're bringing this to the community. It's needed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was trying to do for Google Meet for the whole podcast thing, but the only problem with that is if I record, it was just recording me. It
Oh,
wasn't
right.
on the meeting room or anything. Because I tried that during virtual teaching for the whole COVID pandemic. I would teach it from home, and I was having some behavioral problems with one of my students. So her caseworker wanted to see. So I'm like, I'll record and see what happened. So I tried it. I thought, it might work. So I stopped recording. I sent it to her. She's like, I can only see Doom. Okay. Well, I recorded the room. So I was like, no, I'm not doing Google Meet for the podcast. I should do Doom and then they edit whatever I could and go on YouTube. And then they will have made for Ken, not made for Ken. And I learned from watching Dear Hallmark Stars YouTube video. Sometimes if I click right away, sometimes the captions are available. But most likely it's available the next day.
Right.
Okay.
So I was like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, I get the technology act on with getting like if you're gonna do a live, have caption ready, but Facebook is not too bad. I think if the person doing a live, they have to enable live caption, then it will pop on. I'm not 100% sure that the whole captioning thing with YouTube. but it's automatic. I don't think you have to turn on anything. 'Cause I did that one. I was like, my caption's not working. So I waited a few hours there. I'm like, oh, it's working. Okay,
Okay.
I got it.
Right.
Yeah. I
Because we
think
know we
Go
can
ahead.
see Sheila regularly looks at the closed captions on our past podcasts. And that's not perfect technology yet either. It's getting
No.
better. But
Sometimes it's not perfect. Sometimes it's not. I mean, the word put in, we're doing good. Like I'm in school, I'm watching the videos, and some of my student captions are way off. I look at the teacher and say, I'm pulling my cane because the captions do not match the video. And way off. Don't worry about it. I handle it. So I pull my cane and do something else with it because it was out way off. It was
Right.
like, well one or something funny. I was like,
nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, but it's great technology. It's technology that wasn't really that good at all not that long ago, and it's really quite good. It does have some limitations. It will get better.
yeah. The one question that I'm just curious about, how does a live podcast work? Like if you do a live, I know I've been trying to do a live, but I just don't want to be like doing a live and everything messed up. We're gonna cancel this. Let's do it again later. So how does it work? I mean, you have to send a formal invitation, like Zoom meetings.
No. So we use a platform called StreamYard, and StreamYard allows you to stream live to a few different places. So we could even stream live to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and there might be another platform, might be like LinkedIn or something. And you just connect your accounts to it, and then you'll see a post go up, like for instance in our Facebook group, and it'll kind of tell you when it's happening, and then when it happens, it just goes live. We just press live and it goes live. And to invite guests, we have a special link for our guests that they'll use to enter the studio, similar to a Zoom where you wouldn't give this to everybody. But it's pretty easy for us, and that's what we needed.
Yep. It gives us a moment to chat with who's ever our guest before we go live. And then we play our little intro, hit the live button, play our little intro, and then we just do introductions and just start chatting. We get to tell our guests that it's live and that we have a conversation style podcast. So they're ready to just chat. Yeah. And it worked out really well for us. We've gotten some amazing stories during our live podcast that just haven't come out other places before that.
Yeah. My recent one involves a puppy, and I keep forgetting to make this clip. But yes, Taylor Cole told us that she shared a puppy with Katie Cassidy.
They shared ownership of a puppy.
Yeah.
Cute story.
That was a lot of fun.
But okay, I was just curious because eventually when I get out of my comfort zone and just live, like you guys have the band or the blues interact in the comments. So if you run out of material, you have the comments right there, the backup. So eventually I want to be able to do that, and everybody.
Yeah.
Okay,
we almost never look at the comments. We forget.
I will. We're getting better. We over prepare. I am a critical care pharmacist.
We have papers and papers. Yeah.
Literally.
But some podcasts I have overplanned in, and some I should have limited. I'm not just gonna wake up because you never know. Sometimes waking up makes it better. I mean, I totally waked up with Jack and John Cinnamon, the whole of they had a few questions because there was not much, and then we just like, oh, let's talk about this, let's talk about this, or you gotta tell me about the moment, the Romadrama, or whatever.
Yeah. Usually we don't have a hard time finding something to talk about, but we found that being very overly prepared has given us the freedom to just go with the flow.
Yeah,
And
it lets
come what
our
may.
guests lead. We can follow
Yeah.
them anywhere they want to go if we've prepared their career and even, some things about them and what they've done in the past, interests outside of whatever it is we're talking about, their music or their acting or whatever their production companies or whatever it is they do. It allows us to be able to follow a discussion with them and allows for that conversation style podcast. But then there's always things that you just don't plan on. And those are actually some of our favorite moments.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes that weekend and then you learn something new.
Right.
And we just
Exactly.
from one topic to another topic and then start something new.
Right.
And you know what? We've had pets bomb the podcast. We've had kids bomb the podcast. There was one podcast, it was with Andrew Walker. He was babysitting the neighbor's dog. It bombed the podcast. One of his kids bombed the podcast. Sarah had a kid bomb the podcast. It's like perfect. That's actually is like kind of our happy spot, is that it's like it doesn't have to be redone. This is who we are. And we love it when Erin Cahill goes, I'm going to run outside and get her puppy because he's eating worms, and then brings Crumpet in, or those kinds of moments just make each one special, right?
It really makes you feel actually like you are sitting in your living room instead of a closet with.
I know, I saw the picture on Instagram. I was like, wow, there, it's really tiny. With the air conditioning, with the wires. I'm like, I thought it's a really nice back room. I like the decorations. I'm like, cabin? Cool.
No, we're in a closet.
It's literally a cedar closet, but it looks spectacular on screen.
Right. It's a really nice room. It's so comfortable. And I'm like, oh, the closet. I'm in a room right now. I'm in a room. I used to have my first the first 3 podcasts over there, but I had the window, the glass. So I really don't like the basement because it's not clean or friendly. Just when the
That's for sure is.
renovate your house. So I moved to the other side of the room and I have my own corner.
Perfect.
Just move away with the pictures, and I have all my podcast people who came on.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
So you guys will be on there eventually. So all of that.
I don't have
Fun.
room for much, but I have my Romadrama poster here.
She does.
And
Yep, and I have my, we'll reach back here. I have my Romadrama badge.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Yeah. See, we're golden.
Oh, I've got
golden.
that somewhere
Ooh.
here.
I do have my Camp Christmas hat too, hanging right here. So you never know. And then I can change my albums out. So if you watch our podcast, my albums change. So depending on what I'm feeling, which is nice. This is my daughter's old room. So I'm using her abandoned room.
Nice. Aside from the podcast hobby and with Julie and Sarah, what you got to know they're nurse, you work in critical care.
I'm not a nurse. I am a pharmacist. So at a teaching hospital, and I work up, pediatric ICU is my primary spot, but I'm on the code team and the trauma team. So, if you're thinking about a hospital and it's all going down, that I'm in the room where it happens. So that's my game.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for all you do.
Yeah, it's I love my work. It's not like somebody said you should only do things that are happy, and I'm like, my work isn't happy, but I have an incredible drive for my work and I love what I do. So yeah, I love caring for the kids and their families under all the circumstances.
Yeah, same. I mean, I've seen all the nurses and the job and the doctors and the aides and everybody in the hospital and the critical care. When my son was in the hospital for pretty much the whole summer. Just before we left for the hospital, we ordered the entire ICQ floor breakfast. Now we got them.
Feed us and we're happy.
No, they do. Do that so much for us and for taking care of my son, making sure he get better,
Mhm.
comes home to us. So
Right.
every time we go to Mississippi, to put in a band or to put in a school for an event, we went there once, then we moved back because I was just like, I don't really want to go there again. No,
Right. Right.
drama,
Right.
too much memories.
Yeah.
No, we finally closed the whole chapter because with all
Right.
the court, the lawsuit, all of that. So we all go to the hospital and everybody was like, they're just, I'm like, yeah, that came like that. Oh my God, they were just like dreaming. Like, he's so big, he's so out like, but meanwhile, I'm gonna have him on me. I mean, at the moment he'll be I'm like, that time, I'm like, Pete, I could do my Hallmark movies in peace. I could catch up on whatever podcast in peace, read in peace. I would not change anything for him in the world.
Right. No, and as you know, people who work in critical care, we're ecstatic when the families can leave, right? You know, that's we love that, right? And you know, not all outcomes are shiny and happy. So everybody has a heart to care for all the pieces of the kids and their families. So yeah, I'm blessed to do that. It does make my schedule crazy. Sarah is always like, Julie, I need your schedule. Julie, I need your schedule. And I don't always have it out very far. So there's only so many of us that work critical care there. It does give us some flexibility though as a podcast. Sometimes we can do hours that other people can't. So
Yeah.
right.
We've landed some great guests because of your
Weird
crazy
hours.
schedule, and we had a last minute tomorrow
Okay.
at 10 a.m. podcast or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sarah, I understand you're a stay-home mom and you also homeschool
Mhm.
one kid, right?
I homeschool, so
Okay.
I have three kids,
Okay.
and I homeschool my two boys. My oldest, my daughter, she's in middle school. She goes to school. She has been homeschooled, but everybody's happier. I think she prefers school over her mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I homeschool my two younger boys, and that takes up most of my time.
Yeah, and she does a lot of amazing things. And on top of it, she's able to like answer emails in a timely manner and get on top of some of those contacts and stuff because she can manage that when I can't always
Right.
do that. It's like sometimes I'll just like drop her like this is posted, this is posted, this is posted. I like literally I'm not going to address it because I'm going to go on rounds. But then Sarah will be like, all right, I reached out to everybody and
right. I do. I mean, because I'm home with my kids, and even though I'm homeschooling, they are little boys, so they need a lot of playtime. So that really gives me the flexibility to be on social media a little bit more than, maybe Julie can be, because when she's at work, she's doing really important things. And
or we're doing nothing. It's sometimes a little bit like TV. Sometimes like
you
and
always
then
know when you're
everything.
having one of those days though, because we get lots of fun posts. But it gives me the flexibility to maybe like upload our videos, schedule our podcast, do a lot of mundane work, but I can do that in little spurts throughout the day. So it doesn't take up my time, but I also have that time to do it. So yeah, that's what I do.
She's also great at reaching out to people and making those connections. So it's like together, like we're a good balance.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. I really enjoyed when I first met you guys at Romadrama, and I just started to fall in and watch or catch up because I know you guys were like ahead. And when I'm watching, I really enjoying how you do the podcast and all of that. It was still kind of newish to me, but it's really amazing, and it's really nice how some actors like directly reach out, I would love to be on the show. Just let me know a day at a time. And some of them that you need to email my agent, and then they will fill you out. And like, no problem. I have never met anyone so rude or so you need to meet my agent or email my agent. Boom. the show from the, oh, if you really want me to be on the show, email my agent and then he or she will hook us up. Looking forward to meet you when that happens. And all my friends were like, I don't know how these people are. I met them all at Romadrama at Palm Beach. And they introduced me to them, and then the list goes on. So, yeah, okay. I was really surprised and really pleased how accommodating and how the family, you're my friend now,
Yeah, Romadrama was such a special time for us to really, we were able to, actually host in person and interview in person and meet for the first time in person.
Yeah,
so
that's true. The two of us had never met.
No, I was at that I met literally everybody first time in person. I mean, it was like, I remember during the movie night premiere, and me and Dara was like, come in, great. So I'm riding down the elevator to go to the premiere night. As soon as the elevator doors open, I saw Dara and her mom. I started screaming.
That's where we saw her.
And we were like, okay, what's going on? I'm like, hi, Mom, I'm your other daughter. And we were like, are we going to the premiere? I'm like, yeah, I see you guys tomorrow. And then the rest is history.
Right. But Sarah and I had not met until Romadrama in person. So it was just really special. And then to be able to make connections with so many friends, we met people and then they were like, hey, do you know Kat? It was like we were getting to meet so many people, and then to make those connections with, the actors, but directors and producers and writers. And it was fun to make those in-person connections there. And we've been able to have, I think, nearly everybody we met very close. We've had so many of them on.
Yeah,
and
we had a lot of them on before we met them at Romadrama. So that was
yeah, she's looking at her poster
here.
She's like literally right next to her.
Yeah.
In the closet.
Have working relationships with a lot of these people now. But even beyond that, I think Romadrama is so special because it brought the whole community together, and it's special. It's like a family, right? And we felt that before, and then you meet in person, and then it just has reiterated that feeling of this, greater Hallmark fan community. It goes beyond Hallmark, but I think that was the original common ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Romadrama will always be special to me.
Yeah, they Romadrama at Palm Beach and Christmas in Chicago.
So much fun. For us, we were able to work the red carpet in Chicago. That was a super fun event. We streamed live from the red carpet, and we're able to meet some new stars that we hadn't met, and a couple new directors, and then had them on the podcast after that. And it's really fun once you have some of those connections made, and then you get to have them on and you're already know each other, and you just start off talking right away. But we enjoy meeting new people too. We can randomly just have somebody we don't know. We work with an agent out of a management company out of Nashville, and we have singers on, musicians on fairly regularly, and many of them we don't know, and we have very much enjoyed getting to know some of those people and have been able to connect some of them together. Sarah has been the great connector.
I've learned that about myself. I like connecting people together. I like being the person that helps people find each other, for whatever connection it could be. So maybe I should try matchmaking.
matchmaker, make me a match.
The matchmaker. You could do that. Then that could be a whole bunch of different kinds of Hallmark movie or something.
Right. No, it's been fun. Recently we had a musician on, and his what would you say, manager, publicist?
Yeah.
reached out and said like, oh, hey, who else do you know that sings and, writes their own music? And I was able to connect her with a bunch of our past guests for a little show that they produce and put on. And that was so fun. I was excited to be able to do that.
That's
I
awesome.
like helping people. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I'm here for. I'm trying to like find out different awareness. I'm working on a really big project for my podcast about deaf culture and deaf awareness, like to do not do, and what happened is okay, because now people these days, what do we do? Oh, that go up, take the paper and a pencil, go up, or the ability to do something. She's not
So
sick, she's not contagious.
Right.
Some people are like that. Or of course, some people don't realize how fragile American Sign Language is, and some people I have grown up and seen people do some markup. I be like, what do you think? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, no, do you realize you just said something back to me? They're like,
Right.
I didn't mean to.
nice to see you, and I would just walk off. So do a little bit more of that. I want to be able to do a podcast with teachers and how they could do research and coping with challenging students or challenging at the job or special needs mom with range and the disability. Like I talked with John the whole story the other day. And
That's how Jen and I first bonded. Yeah, we both have children with special needs. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I see the teens at work, they're great. They just take out their phone, they start typing out a text, and then they'll say what they've typed out too. Like if somebody's having trouble understanding them, or if somebody's talking and they're not, they'll just type back. The kids like just use their phone so like as an extension of themselves. If they don't know sign language. And I just like love that like creativity and in the moment things that it opens up the world a little bit more and is less self-limiting.
Yeah, like with the new iPhone, or I don't know what the new generation update, they have like a live caption button. So if you want to watch live caption on YouTube, or I'm watching Instagram live, but it's not working, I click the button and it goes up, and then it will stream whatever with that. Thank you for that.
That's amazing.
That literally saved my life. Someone
No,
said, I work on the shoot. Like I was trying to watch Kayla on my phone. I'm gonna use the light one, but it's in the way. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna move it over here so I can see everybody there.
Right. And kids are not afraid of the technology at all. And I just think they don't see the same limitations that some older people see. Like they just see a different way to work within that. And I actually kind of love that. That kids remove the barriers themselves or work within the structure that they have and use their technology to their benefit. Like I'm going to do the live caption thing, right?
Okay, now on talk Hallmark. Do you have any favorite? I'm not going to say one because it's impossible to pick one. But do you have any favorite top 3 general Hallmark movies and maybe top 2 or 3 Christmas movies? I could probably got to be mine growing up Christmas list with Kevin McGarry and Kayla Wallace. That was really, really good movie. Along with Tyler Hynes and 2 other Christmas movies.
Yeah. I mean, we're probably gonna say Kevin McGarry in something.
I mean, we have to, right? Like we have to.
Okay, I'm not putting you guys out there because you're the McGarry, so it has to be one.
Yeah, no, like we certainly love everything Kevin does, and then the Kevin and Kayla movies have been spectacular. But we certainly watch a wide variety of things. The Three Wise Men and a Baby, that was such a hit last year, not just for Hallmark. It was Peacock's top Christmas movie. That was a fantastic, and it didn't have a traditional love story with it. It was a love story of a family, more than anything else. And for me, I loved that movie too.
Yeah, I think that movie made such a splash, not only because of the three guys, but it was so different than anything they've done before. And Paul and Kimberly really, with their way they wrote it, they just knocked it out of the park. So then you add, you know, some of the biggest Hallmark hunks out there and you've got a hit, right?
Right. But it wasn't just a hit on Hallmark. It was like a hit on
they did it well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
it
right,
was
right.
well done. Yeah. They didn't just use the faces.
Right.
They actually had a good story,
Mhm.
which we all know is sometimes lacking. So
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure, that movie was really good, and I like how they did the live interaction and the commentary in Chicago, and we learned.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Yeah, we learned so much about the movie and what goes behind the movie, like Tyler, Paul, and Andrew with their sugar plum berry there, and that can never get old. And just like,
Right. And it was fun to have them do commentary and Tyler share all the stuff off of his phone. Like literally they hooked it up to the giant screen, his phone, and he just kept going through stuff and talking about different things they had. It was super fun to get that behind the scenes speak. On top of it, Terry Ingram was in Chicago and he was the director. We also have had him on the podcast. Terry Ingram's directed over 40 Hallmark movies and is an icon. He's directed 4 of the 6 other groups, the Wedding Veil movies, there's been 6 Wedding Veil movies. Terry Ingram's directed 4 of them. Those are also favorites and fan favorites. Bonus Kevin's in 2 of those. Actually 3 actually it's side, but you know, so to have Terry there too and talk about directing the guys or when to let them go and be themselves a bit, or like the dinner scene, he's like, I kind of let that just roll, and then we get it on the screen, and that's what made that movie special, right?
yeah. I'm trying to think of the movie. I just watched an old one that Dara recommended to me. I think it was Love at the Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh, okay.
I really liked it, and I wish
really good.
Yeah, I wish they would make movies like that again. It felt really like a classic Meg Ryan type rom-com. So I would say that's one of my favorite Christmas movies as well.
Yeah, mine is the most wonderful time of the year. Warren Christie, Henry Winkler, and Brooke Burns. I mean, I could never get sick of that movie. And there was another classic, The Matchmaker Santa.
Yeah.
With Lacey and Adam Mayfield. Really,
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, that one's good.
But it's so good. I'm like, I never get sick about it. It's like everything was just so good.
Yeah. A non-Christmas one that I really like that's not a Kevin McGarry one is Irresistible Blueberry Farm with Ali Sweeney. And
but the good movie.
Wait, and Mark Blucas, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then
Mark Lucas and Alison Sweeney.
Yeah,
So
Alison Sweeney.
With the
And then Kevin Smith is the the guy that's not it, but he's the most likable guy that's not the right guy, right? It's like you like him so much at the end of the movie, and normally it's not written that well. It takes more to write that way. So anyways, that's kind of an old movie too that I really like that movie.
Yeah, for non-Christmas for me, the one that comes to mind is Taking the Reins.
Oh,
that's the name. I like that one, and it has Nikki DeLoach and the guy from Friday Night Lights and from Heart of Dixie, Scott Porter. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good movie. Yeah,
that one always kind of gets me teary-eyed. Yeah.
Right. I always like that Autumn Reasoner one where with Jesse Metcalf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it, but it's
Like
at the end.
country
It's like
something.
mint chip, ice
Country
cream.
Wedding. A
Country Wedding.
with
Yeah,
Martin
Country
Luther.
Wedding.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a good movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end when he's like mint chip, dogs, horses, this farm, these people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. He had me at mint chip. Let's be honest.
Say that again.
He had me at mint chip. Yes.
15 minutes, so I'm going to turn it over to you guys. If you have any questions or any comments or anything you want to know about me or my interest or Hallmark.
Okay, I have a question. How do you like podcasting?
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting. It's fun. I mean, like fun. What my first podcast got, and I did not really expect that because we've been talking a lot, interacting a lot with the Walmart University, store, donation, charity. So I was just like, really like what he was doing. I was like, would you like to, I'm trying this out and see how it goes. Would you like to be my first podcast guest? Yeah, sure. And I was like, okay. So I did a little bit of prepping, did a little bit of researching because I told him that a couple of my favorite movies I've heard was Cranberry Christmas.
Yeah.
That movie. And Coloring My World with Love. And I told him I'm a Hallmark. I like to see Hallmark spread out more with diversity of actors and actresses, not just color, but disability too.
Yeah.
And I know how he shared in his live or stories of Peter's email in the group chat, his schedule for the day, and when Lily or Peter done with Berman, okay, it's a wrap. So that we have a birthday left. What we're gonna do? Peter, I'm going tennis. So he goes out to tennis, and then I slowly started reaching out other people, and hopefully will branch out to directors, writers, singers, and authors as well. And I just learn more about each different part of movie making, book publishing, and book making into movies.
Yeah,
Right.
we have that in common, Kat. We like to read.
Yes.
Yes.
We're
So
all readers.
what are you reading? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
Right now
yeah.
I'm reading Mean Baby. It's a memoir by Thelma Blair.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I mean, I still have a few books to read. I need a break from Colleen Hoover.
Oh,
Book,
yeah.
Addiction. So I have one more book in my to-be read. No, I'm not going to touch you right now. I'm going to give everybody a fair chance. I'm part of the Book of the Month Club.
Yeah.
So I have one book for this month to read. So I could gain up my points for that. But I read, I write, I'm in the process of trying to finish a children's book. That was a story by my grandmother. Bring it up for my child, my dad, my sister, and my brother, and now my kin. So I'm in the process of trying to make it into a book so that way they have something.
I
love that.
My grandmother. So, and I draw, of course, on my free time.
You're very artistic, right? You love all the arts. Yeah.
I love that. So, when did you learn anything unique or unexpected when you've been talking to guests?
Yeah, I mean, let me think. I had my podcast with Paul Campbell and my podcast with Jackie. With Paul Campbell, it was fun. It was very sophisticated. And that is so Paul. The first time I met Paul was at Chicago Romadrama.
Right.
I was like, like with the movies, I'm like, he's cute, he's good looking, but he's awkward. When it was his characters and his acting, I told him that. I'm like, you know what? Thank you for the honesty. I am awkward. I admit, because he shared some moment with his writing and growing up and making a movie, co-writing, and he was very humble. I'm very vulnerable. I'm not an outgoing person. I'm just like, so it was like a very sophisticated conversation about the movie he wrote and the movie he co-wrote, and it was pretty interesting, very deep, very raw. So I was like, I like it though. It was really good. And with Jackie, with wanting to we share both of our vulnerable stories. Like I share about my son, and he shared about his experience with the whitewater rafting.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, and she's like, okay, you're Jackie, you're like a tough guy, you know, you're like a joker and all of this stuff, but it's really nice to see their raw side, their
Right.
real side, because I don't just because they're actors, they're actresses, directors, the writers, they're people.
Mhm.
So, and of course, they would like to have a reciprocal respect. You know, like some of the bands are like getting into their basement or sharing stories or DMing. And like, oh, the people should like us.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
They're very
So
real
wrong.
people. They just have cool jobs. That's what I always say.
That's
Right.
Sarah's quote every time.
Yeah.
We'll get off and we're always just so amazed at we love how wonderful and normal many they just are, right? And that they have cool jobs, right? And it's been a wonderful journey. So I asked that because we always find out some of our favorite things is when we find out something unexpected.
Right. And Jesse was one of our most unexpected because I think we were the first place he shared that story. And we were like, wait, hold up.
I made him back up. I work in critical
wow.
care. Let's talk about this.
And then I think
Drowning.
we spent a really long time after we went off air talking about that too. And he went and told Julie a lot of details because she knows the questions to ask.
I do know that question. I mean, that's literally my job. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And so it was just very interesting to talk to him. And then he went on Colin's podcast, Colin Egglesfield, and told that shortly afterwards. And I just think he's like, do you think people are interested? I'm like, Jesse, it's an amazing story about how you lived and then made a decision to risk it all again and go into acting. So it's you know, you don't think about the personal pieces that like they're just people, they're normal people, right?
Yeah, because normal people all over go through at least, I don't know, 1 or 2 traumatic events in their lives, or even more, depending on their job or the kind of life they're in. I mean, I didn't even know about Jackie's story until one of my friends said, go to Quick Plaza Live. I take you. I'm like, okay, I'm just falling.
Yeah.
I've got to get you on. We have to talk. We have to share. I mean, no comparison there. And he's a funny guy to have on the podcast. I mean, it's Jackie. It's just like,
he's fun. Yeah.
We're not sure to be serious or not to be serious.
Yeah. You know, I just love getting to know all the people, and it's been fun. And I hope that you continue to enjoy that while you do your podcast.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to branch it off because I know the whole concept with the writer strike and some of the actors are just like,
yeah,
I'm trying not to like, you know. So I try to get them paid or whatever. I have a couple of them in the work for August, and I'm trying to work with Karen Shearer, who does Christmas book. So we're trying to get her to come on. But it's a matter of scheduling. I want to learn more about the writer's strike, but who knows, maybe pretty soon the actors will be on strike too. And supporting the writers because fair pay, fair wages, you know, same concept with teachers and everybody out of the world. You know, some people are like, teachers don't get paid here. No, I mean, I wish I could do more, but I can't because it's what it is. No, but even though I do more because I want to make a difference.
Right.
So that's why I'm trying to like branch off my podcasting with just regular people. It doesn't just have to be her mom. Yeah, I know them, but not necessarily with a back friend. I mean, they come over to my house for coffee or that kind of thing. Just like matter of networking and mutual friend within one or another.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I lost my train of thought though. So sorry.
Oh no. Okay. Last question. Is there a movie or there a book that you could read or watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million times and can never get sick of it because it's so good. It's like you're watching it again for the first time, even though you know the movie, you know the book line by line.
So my favorite book of all time is Anne of Green Gables. So I have not read it in a long time, but I would say if I could only have one book, that's what it would be. I do reread the Bridgerton novels a lot because they're so easy and fast, and I enjoy the writing. I enjoy like the easygoing, funny books like that. In my life, it fits in really well to not to pay attention to a really thick plot because I have so much going on at home. So I would say those two series would be series I would read over and over.
Or do you have a movie that you'd watch over and over or anything?
Me?
Yeah, Sarah. She was. I will watch To Kill a Mockingbird with Gregory Peck in black and white every time it's on.
Gregory Peck, yes.
Yeah, it's super old. I can remember being a small kid and my dad would watch black and white movies on a Saturday. And if that one was on, we would sit on the sofa and he'd pop some popcorn and we would watch Gregory Peck and Scout. I was a Scout. Read too much, too tomboyish, right? I got Scout. That was the first time I ever saw a character, really a girl on TV that I got, and she was like it was such an old movie, even for me, as that was way before my time, but still, and I can read that book over and over. Also, otherwise, I like what I call boy books. I'll read anything, and I read very fast. So, but I love the good grounded Lord of the Rings or any of that. So
yeah,
I'll have to say for my movie, it would be Meet Me in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Which is probably one of my favorites, but definitely that classic Turner Classic Movies, that would be my comfort.
Yeah, mine too. The Notebook. I love him. The Notebook.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, I could watch the other night. I'm like, the Notebook, and I'm just watching it, just like how they remind me of my grandparents.
Right.
Mother passed, but I should call my grandparents the Notebook couple because they were just little. I was the Notebook couple. Period.
Yeah.
And there was another movie, Time to Kill.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my favorites. I mean, that is just powerful. I mean, that's where we see where the line is between African American and white through the whole time in the courtroom. I'm just sitting there, I'm just like,
powerful.
See that?
Right?
Yeah,
so good.
Mockingbird. That was a very good movie. I mean, I remember watching that back in middle school, high school. Very
so
good.
Well, Gregory Peck is just, iconic. There's a reason he's iconic.
So good. That's all I can think of. New Girl. I love New Girl.
Yeah, New Girl.
With
New Girl.
She has the bangs. Ever seen that show with Zoe
Deschanel?
Deschanel,
yeah. That was that New Girl, but I'm
like, it's one of the house fixer-upper guys.
Girl. That was that night.
The one that's not where Ben always stays, the other brother.
Right. With Zoe, yeah, with the girl in Elf, right? Isn't she an elf?
Yeah, she's the girl in Elf.
She sings, yeah. She sings "Baby It's Cold Outside" in the shower with Will Ferrell.
Yes.
All right, that's a great movie too. Let's just say it, Elf.
You have a favorite memory, and that I'm gonna put it out there. Do you have a favorite memory or favorite moment in your podcasting, or from Romadrama, West Palm Beach, or from Romadrama, Chicago?
Okay, I'm just gonna go with Romadrama, West Palm Beach, when we went to the Breakers that first Thursday night. Like, we didn't know what to expect. That was really the first thing we had done at an event, and we didn't know what to expect, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mind boggling. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Mhm. It was what like really opened our eyes to the
And
whole.
I will tell you what. I'll tell you
Yeah.
truthfully, at the end of the night, Catherine came over and handed me this poster. And when we realized that we were on the poster, we were like,
You had a poster, get you signed my poster.
Right.
we were like,
It's like
we were standing with Gabrielle, and I think we were like,
we're like,
why?
we're on the poster.
And that was just like such a
Mind blowing.
moment for us. Yeah. Because we
Mind
had
blowing.
no clue.
Right.
And it was special that Gabrielle had so much faith in us to host an event and
Be part of
feature us on her poster. So
yeah, we got to host an event and be part of a panel, and we did them and they went well.
Gotcha. I mean, I would say the same thing. I mean, I walked in, Breakers. I did not know what to expect. I'm like coming in, walking in the door with my hotel roommate behind me. I'm walking, and then Andrew walking by. I'm like,
What? Right?
okay. And then the rest of the night, and oh my God, I mean, when I met Tyler, I mean, that was the only reason why I went. You know, Tyler and the T-Dua people too. But
Right.
I look at all of them, that Ryan Baby, oh, that trouble, which is the real.
Right.
See everybody up close, and of course they look more cute, more handsome in person than on the screen, because on the screen they're like clean, but in person, I'm like, oh, he got the stutter, oh, he got this, oh. And then after the whole premiere movie, she will talk about booms and everything. So I was making my way through, and through my beeline, I saw him. I was like, I'm gonna go eat first. She goes, no, you're not. You're gonna go meet him. You needed to meet to stand, do the Christmas card this summer. When I told you about him, I'm like, no, I'm going to eat. So I go over to the buffet and eat. I saw Ryan, I saw Trevor. So get him food. I'm like, get it from there. Okay, I'm gonna have this. I'll go back to the table. I'm like, come on, no, I'm gonna eat. So I was literally like shaking.
Right.
I ate. And I should go, come on. I'm like, fine. So I go around, I should like right here. I'm like, okay. And I mean, that time me with the handies. I'm like, the handies and Ashley. So I might ask them, like, hey, she goes, find me, they're here. I'm going to record that moment. I'm like, okay, Ashley. So, and then she was like, Tyler, remember me, Mary from Christmas Card? I go, yeah, Kat, where is she? But straight ahead of me. I'm like, hi, Tyler, took my hand, gave him a hug, and I said, thank you for being here. I'm like, yeah, my knees are weak, but I'm happy to be here. We have the whole weekend together. You know, but after that, I was like, I'm gonna go get a drink.
Right. And they were free.
they were free.
Whiskey on the rock. I do that. But after that, the whole weekend was amazing. It was just amazing.
Right. Yeah. When we walked in and heard the bar was open, we were like, yes. And then we got there and we saw Andrew Walker and he yelled. We were lucky enough to have many of the stars our podcasts prior to being at Romadrama. And so we had connections with quite a few of them. And he's like, hey, can I get a picture with you? So like right away, we're getting pictures with Andrew Walker. And it was just,
And getting yelled at for it.
yeah, they're like, and he's like,
Yeah.
no, I asked them for a picture. Because remember at first you weren't supposed to do pictures, right? He's like, no, I asked them for a picture.
Right.
And then-
Everybody was doing that. That was like, and Gabrielle walking between me and Tyler. I was like, Tyler, come on, selfie. I'm like, okay. So he did a selfie. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And the
then-
dad walked about, no, wait until tomorrow. And I think, I'm like, what's the point of this event then? If everybody's gonna be around and it's a full movie premiere, you know?
yeah.
But it was really nice.
Then in Chicago, it was just like take pictures with whoever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chicago was different.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really good, and it was worth the money. A lot of people like Romadrama. I was, yeah, but they include things. So
Right.
I was trying to explain, like for the VIP package, platinum, gold, silver, they include things without paper. But
Yeah.
if you want more than 5 selfies or more than 5 autographs, not the paper. While other events,
You pay for each thing.
2,000. That's it.
Right. Right.
I am still confused. I'm still in awe about how Christmas canon compared to Romadrama. I'm not bashing, but VIP package, you get in 1 hour, you get in the line, okay, and 1 free voucher. That's it. Oh, that's for VIP.
They're very different events
Yes.
for different. They have different purposes. So,
Right.
Yeah.
We enjoyed the smaller, more intimate setting. Love those like karaoke night with the stars, and then we're all just hanging out in the same room. It felt like being at a wedding, right? And you just wander around talking with everyone, hop on stage just saying whatever, meeting back at the bar, you know. It had that like you're all at a wedding reception feel, and just it was a lot of fun.
But before we wrap it up, I know the few minutes over, but I just want to thank you for coming on here and just chatting about your podcast journey and how it worked out. It definitely helped me at the podcast because I was like, live, I'm going to try that sometime. I'm like, let's see. So I will try to do a little test live, but with a friend or some other person talk about self-awareness or some small topic. And if it worked out well, no, like, or shoot, or anything, then maybe I will start doing a little bit of a live podcast. I'm going to do a little bit more research on stream those and how to hook it up with YouTube or Zoom and then do all of that. Because my goal was eventually if that person, that number one guy, eventually makes his way to my podcast, that podcast will be live.
Fingers crossed.
yeah, you gotta get everything ready for that day.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil any surprises, but I have the second white man on my podcast in August. And now
Okay.
get the third one. Come on.
Mhm.
I know you're busy and you want to do it around time, but I will be as patient as long as I can be. I was patient enough with Romadrama, West Palm Beach, Pretty Postponed from Atlanta.
Mhm. Yep.
20 days, and I start over to 165 days. I could be patient.
You can be patient. I have to put my kids to bed. I can hear them upstairs. It's 2 hours past their bedtime. So wish me luck.
Thank you for coming on, and I will work on it and get it uploaded by tomorrow. And
Oh, you're
appreciate you guys
fast.
and keep in touch.
Always.
Good night.
Thank
Always.
you, Kat. Thanks for having us on. Keep up the good work.
Yep. Thanks for inviting us. Thanks.
Have a great day.
Good luck with your future podcast endeavors. And
Thank you.
I'm going to thank our interpreters for joining us
Yes.
today too, Kelsey and Brady. Once again, these are people that play a big part in my daily life, and I appreciate your work. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for making the time for us, all three of you. Yes.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too.
Alive.
Yes.
Okay, good night.
Good night.